Now it's time for another Board Game Brawl preview with Nick Meanahan, sponsored by BoardGameBliss.com. Hey peeps, today we're going to take a look at a game that is currently seeking funding on Kickstarter. That game is called Cobras, and it's from the company Cardboard Edison. Now, if you like what you see throughout the rest of this preview video, I'm going to encourage you to go to the official Kickstarter project page. There will be a link up in the top corner of your screen, as well as down in the description section underneath this video. Those links will take you to the page. You can find out more information and hopefully consider backing the project. Now, Cobras is a trick-taking card game, but with a few twists and turns. Now, thematically, it's actually sort of an interesting thing based on the Cobra effect of economy, where you can have a positive effect can eventually lead to negative effects. Like you try to do something beneficial and it just backfires on you, essentially. That's a very simplified way to say it. Now, in this game, what's happening is that you are getting these, trying to acquire these Cobra tokens through the typical trick-taking mechanisms, which will enable you to score. But if you don't get rid of those tokens, it's going to be very bad for you. So, let me go ahead and give you a brief look at how the game is played. It's much easier to just show you rather than just explain it to you here. And this is with a prototype version of the game. So what you see in this version may be different than what the final version will look like. But in any case, then we're going to come back and we'll discuss it further. Cobras is a competitive trick-taking game for primarily 3 to 4 players. The goal of the game is to have the most points when the game ends. This happens at the end of any round in which at least one player reaches 100 points. Then whoever has the most points is the winner. You can play with 5 players by playing to 75 points instead, and there are even rules for 1 or 2 player games which use dummy players. The main 52 card deck consists of 4 colored suits of cards, with cards numbered from 1 to 13 in each suit. Depicted on the cards will be anywhere from 1 to 3 Cobras. Shuffle and deal the cards out as evenly as possible to all players, removing any extras from the game. Added to each player's hand will be a King Cobra card. Lastly, everyone gets a snake basket face up in front of them, and in the middle of the table you'll place a pile of Cobra tokens. You'll also need a pen and paper to keep track of points. Choose one player to start the game randomly. After the first round, each round will start with the player with the fewest points. Before the first trick of each round, each player chooses a card from their hand and plays it face down simultaneously. Then, everyone reveals their card and adds a number of Cobra tokens to their basket equal to the amount of Cobras on the card. Any cards placed down this way that are single or double Cobras just get discarded. But triple Cobra cards get lined up near the discard pile. This same thing happens at the end of every trick, actually, where you're always lining up the triple Cobra cards. The lead player for the trick will now play a card down to the table face up. This can be of any suit and any number. Then, in clockwise order, each player must also play a card on top of it. If they have a card of the same suit, they must play it. Otherwise, they can play any card. After everyone has played a card, the winner is determined by whoever played the highest number in the lead suit. That player immediately converts all of their Cobra tokens into points. They do not have a choice in this. You must convert all of your Cobra tokens if you win. Your Cobra basket will tell you how many points you earn, based on how many tokens you turn in. You get an escalating amount of points for turning in more of them all at once. The players who did not win the trick will put more Cobra tokens into their basket. Add up the Cobras on all the cards played in the trick, and then divide that many tokens amongst the losing players. If you can't divide evenly, the extras will be added to the next pot. If a player chooses to play their King Cobra, they immediately declare whether they will share the win or share the loss. If they share the win, they will score their tokens along with the actual winner of the round. If they share the loss, they will get Cobra tokens together with the other losers, though the King Cobra card itself does not actually count as Cobras for the pot. More than one player can play their King Cobra on the same trick. Keep playing tricks until 10 or more triple Cobras have been played and lined up on the table. That is the end of the round. If you have Cobras left in your basket at this point, they are subtracted from your score. If one or more players reach 100 points or more, the game is over, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Otherwise, everyone gets their King Cobra back, the discard pile is reshuffled to make a new deck, and then they are dealt out evenly again, and then another round begins until someone is the winner. Now, there are a lot of trick-taking games out there, but I think that the twists and turns of Cobras are something that even people who are trick-taking game aficionados, shall we say, should definitely take note of, because it definitely sort of flips a lot of the conventions on their head, because it's not just typical throwdown suits and, you know, lead and all that type of stuff, but you now have to a lot of other decision making to worry about. You have to say, well, okay, I can't just win the hand, I can't win the trick because I don't have any tokens, so I'm not going to score anything, or I only have a couple of tokens and I'll barely score anything at all, whereas the people who lose are going to gain even more tokens and can potentially have a much bigger payout later on. So these are the things that you have to worry about in this game, and it adds a nuance to the game that so many other light card games just don't have. So definitely something there, but on the other hand, it is a trick-taking game, and therefore it's going to be accessible to a lot of people. A lot of people are familiar with the core mechanisms here, and therefore it's easy to get into, it's fast to play, and it's the kind of game that you can sit down and play multiple games of, and you're encouraged to do so. But even if you just want to play a simple round, you can do that too, just as a throwaway round, just to sort of get the game under your feet. So lots of things here, like I mentioned in the overview, you can play the game solo even, or 2-player by using dummy players. It adjusts up to 5 players without any kind of major changes, really. So in that way as well, it makes the game accessible to a wide variety of people. Hardcore experienced gamers who want a filler game in between their bigger, heavier, more grandiose table games, and just casual gamers as well, families that you want to play it with, so on and so forth. If you fall into any of those categories or know someone that does, definitely go to the Kickstarter project page. It's running right now. There'll be a link in the top corner of your screen, as well as down in the description section underneath this video. Those links will take you to the page. You can find out more information than I could possibly have told you here, and hopefully you'll consider backing the project. That is Cobras from Cardboard Edison. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting our sponsors. Take care. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. And make sure to check out our sponsor, Board Game Bliss, where you can find an amazing selection of games from around the world. BoardGameBliss.com. Thanks for your support.